Hi, my name is Toad. I'm a 3D artist, and I made a little model of York from Drawtectives. If you don't know who York is, or what Drawtectives is, it's a fun little series by Julia Lepetite on the channel Drawfee. It's a little like mystery show where a lot of fun drawings. I would absolutely recommend it if you haven't seen it. So York is this sort of brutish but really fun orc, kind of, you know, pure of heart, dumb of ass kind of guy. Um, more muscles than brains, but also very, very good. Uh, you'll notice I already started with a head here. I actually still modeled that by hand. It just usually takes me a few passes for the head. So I just kind of did that off camera, and then once I settled on something I liked, I came back and started the recording for this. I don't usually make a whole lot of masculine models, so this was a fun little challenge for me, because I don't really work with a whole lot of big ol' muscly people usually, but it's good practice. And I think I had a lot of fun with it, especially in the animation aspect. If you just want to see the animation, you can skip to the end of the video. There's a little bit of animation, some little memes there. I'm sure I've also probably posted them elsewhere. They're all recent stuff on TikTok has just kind of left me sort of disenfranchised with the whole sort of that app in general. So I thought I'd give a pass at trying YouTube and trying some content like this. So let me know if you like it. Getting just a lot of the muscle shapes in here. I really wanted to follow the reference pretty closely. I want to have like a lot of the same details as the York reference that you can sort of see off to the side there. I don't want to add any details that weren't there, but obviously it's 3D versus a 2D reference, so there's going to be like a little bit of disconnect there. Nothing that you ever make in 3D can, or I think even really should, look exactly like a 2D reference. It's good if you like interpret things and try and like make them work in a 3D space, I think. So we got shoulder blades and some little black muscles. You're never really ever gonna see these, but I really do feel like having them done is like even just like little details of you don't have to have them perfect, but making sure that they're there makes it look better from all angles, even if it's not an angle that you're usually showing. I gave a pass at the legs here, and then it just looked terrible, so I just tried to get in with a more boxy look. Legs still came a little bit boxy at the end, but that's fine. I don't know why I spent a long time on the legs here, and I think like they're very simple. It's not like anything weird's going on, but for whatever reason, like his legs just could not look right to me for a while. Just like the connect of the body to the legs looked a bit weird, but that's okay. So I think I stepped away here for a sec, but also does just kind of let you see there's a little something weird there. I ended up figuring a little something out, and so of course I have to give him a little bit of an ass, and I figured trying to like figure out the muscles of it and how it's gonna bend and stuff would probably help with the structure of like a little bit, and it does. So I'll also figure out the shoes here a little bit. Shoes are not my forte. In fact, a lot of the things that I do in this model are not my forte. I'm not particularly great at masculine people. Not great at shoes, boots, or anything like that. But you know, it's always good to try. Even if you fail, then at least you've learned something a little. It's not terrible though, and also shoes aren't really like a big focus of the piece. And hands, there's another thing that I'm really awful with. Uh, You can see me try and then just fully give up for the day. And I'm coming back to this, and I just imported a hand that I liked from online. That's not something I always do. I usually do try and give it a good, honest pass, but I knew I was going to spend long time on this project, so I figured I'd just go ahead and get the hands done the easiest way. Because hands have been done 1,000 times, and someone's always going to have done it better than you, so it's not bad to just borrow from other people sometimes, I don't think. I'll hopefully post a link to the hands I got. They're free to use. Hopefully I posted that down in the description. If I didn't, please let me know and remind me. Yeah, need to just figure out a lot of things here. I'm gonna try and get a lot more of like his actual personal look stuff in, and start with the eyebrows. He has these very fun bushy brows. He has like a resting bitch face, but in a way that I love. It's this very square face that especially is hard to make because like it's very flat on the bottom, so you got to make like this very square face, but still make it work in 3D without it looking like just a Minecraft head. And I think I actually succeeded pretty well. He has like a very flat mouth. Like he doesn't have a whole lot of lips to speak, especially in the reference. He doesn't have any lips. So trying to make that work in 3D, it's a fun challenge. I'm gonna get to work on the hair. This is a pretty basic way of making hair. You just make a curve of a circle and a path for that sort of shape to follow along. So I made this sort of like triangle-ish shape. And then these sort of lines that you're seeing are just the paths that shape is following. With I put a taper at the end to a point. So I just sort of match generally where I think the hair is going to go. You think that you know how hair is going to work just looking at a 2D thing, but then you go to put it on a 3D model and it does not work that way. Like in the reference, it does look like that hair on the side should be going forward, but when I try that, like it just leaves like way too much bald space. So I ended up swooping it back instead. And of course, he's got a little mullet, which I love. I love long hair on guys. Yeah, and I go to add more hair here, and then I realize, no, he's got like the undercut look. So I should really probably just leave that gone. And actually, notice I make a pretty big mistake inside the mouth here in a second. At some point along the way, you can see those vertices just got all out of whack. So I have to go in here, delete some stuff, and just sort of remake it a little. It's not like a big deal, but that's really, really nice about the multi-res modifier, which is I'm used to make both like the lower poly look and the higher poly model. Is you can always go back to the lower poly and work again, which is why I love Blender. It's taken like a lot of the things that I like from ZBrush and other 3D programs, and it's just a free program. I don't gotta pay for it. It's great. So I got sort of his undercut look there, and sort of like the base of his hair. Always just fiddling with something when I see it. 3D modeling's great if you have ADHD. You can just always move to something else. So yeah, we're starting to look like York here. Still just a bit off. So always trying to like figure something out. And I'm taking a pause here. Oh yeah, I think that was the end of that day. So now I'm getting to work on the body. I think it's going to crash here in a second. Another great thing about Blender, though, is it's very easy to recover after a crash. I did not like that about Maya. It was a lot harder to recover if there's a crash, but I'm just back in it. So I'm trying to make his little cropped tank top here. It looks a lot like a sports bra throughout, but it's fine. I was struggling like where would the straps would go because you can't actually see that in the reference or anything. But I think I settle on something I like, and also I'm covering it with a jacket, so whatever. So here's a really, really rough jacket shape that I'm making, and then I'll just subdivide it and thicken it later. That's another really great thing about 3D. It's got to look like shit at a lot of the time, but if you just keep fiddling with it, eventually you'll kind of get something that looks right for you. So spiky. But yeah, I'm starting to figure it out here. We're starting to get more of the shape, add a little bit of thickness, and make it just a little neater. Especially with like the folds of a jacket, it's always a little funky. But yeah, also I'd prefer not to make a whole lot of image textures, so I'd just make a whole lot of new materials for every individual thing. Alright, and now we're gonna get to work on his jacket, or just like the flannel shirt he's got wrapped around him. I like flannel a lot too. I love his punk look. I don't know if I've said that yet, but I love the styles this season. I'm so happy with how they did their each of them did their styles. If you like how this turns out, let me know if you like it, because I would like an excuse to do York and, or not, sorry, Grindon and Rose as well. I'm very excited to do Rose if I get the chance. So I started with a checkerboard texture for flannel, and I eventually realized this doesn't really look like flannel. It just looks like a checkerboard. I could go through the process of like doing the flannel texture myself, but then I just realized a million people have already done this. Might as well just use something someone else has done. It's fine. It's Blender Marketplace, I think. It's a little search bar you see up there at the top. And I decide, yeah, he probably needs a little something around the eyes. I haven't made the eyelashes yet. I eventually decide that the eyelashes are the way to go. But gotta fiddle with the flannels more first. Oh yeah, gotta get the little arm spikies in. I think I made these a little too spiky. Like they go out a little too far. In the reference, they go like a bit more stubby. But whatever. I don't know the name of these arm spikies. I see them a lot in punk scenes. I'd be too scared to stab myself. Oh, that was the end of a day, and I forgot to cut this dark screen out. Oh well. Now here we go. We're back to the next day, and I decided, yeah, let's just do the eyelashes. And he looks so much prettier with the eyelashes. Everyone does. It's got like he's got really sleepy looking eyes, and I like that. I like a sleepy looking character. He's always got like the flat like top of the eye and like the rounded bottom. I just find that fun design usually. I'm adding a little bit of like force shading on his jaw to make the jawline look a little sharper. And what am I gonna do next? Oh yeah, the armband. Then gotta get that colors right. Make sure it fits all around his big old biceps. Then the leg spikies. Again, I think these came out a little too spiky. Like I just pushed them out a little too far. I think I probably should have made them a little stubbier. I could still go back and fix this. It would be a really easy thing to fix. But I just now gotta actually turn the hair into meshes, connect them all. If I was doing this as a VTuber model, I would actually give the hair bones so they could actually like bounce and move with his actions and all. But I was just doing this for both some practice and a funny little animation, maybe some memes. I think I'm gonna try and do some animatics this season, season 3. I wasn't sold on it at first, and then when I realized sort of like the twist of episode 2, I got really into it. So I'm very, very excited for this season, and I'm really, really excited to see how things are going to play out. Season 2 was hilarious and so fun. So yeah, I might make some little animated scenes of like some funny stuff that happens. If you have any good ideas of what you'd like me to animate, please let me know. Little arm fluffs. I don't think I've done a snaggletooth yet. Yeah, no, first I do some patches. Then I don't think I realized this until I was making this, but I think that's a Birds of Prey patch, like the Falcons band from season 1. It's a little bird. I'm pretty sure it is. The world's shittiest looking bird by me. I'm really bad at 2D art. 2D art is awful for me. I have so much respect for the people that can do it well. Which is why I think I love Drawtectives so much. She really does such a good job on that series. Alright, connected the head to the body, got his little Adam's apple. Sort of fixed up that forest shading a little bit. And now I am starting to get in some mouth shapes. So I'm going to get his mouth open so I can get the snaggletooth in there. He didn't have any like teeth in the reference, and especially even like in a lot of the art of like little scenes that they make inside of the show, it doesn't ever really show like his upper or lower teeth other than the one little snaggletooth. So I think I just didn't decide. I just decided not to make teeth to sort of make it fit the reference a bit better. One sort of thing that always happens when I choose to make characters without teeth, though, because like a lot of designs just don't really have that in them. Like people just don't really make like the teeth appear. It's in the 3D they just look like gummy though. It looks like their lips are going over their teeth, even though there isn't any teeth or anything. A little hard to get that balance right. Got his earrings. Oh, and here's the part where I really fuck up. Is this tool a lot of Blender artists recommend called Rigify? It lets you like just when you do a rig, it sets up controllers for you to make like animation stuff like that a lot easier. I don't know how to use it. I thought I would try and figure it out while I do this. I usually just make my own armatures. But I was like, if I'm planning on doing some little animations here, it might be fun to try and figure out Rigify. I did not figure it out. First of all, I applied the high-res modifier of like the body and stuff a little too soon. So it just would not attach its weights to the bones correctly because there was just too many vertices and stuff. And then I also just couldn't get the controller stuff to work. So eventually I just make it an armature like normal and then just work with that. It's what I'm used to anyway, so it's not really a big deal. And then I just had like, here's the weight painting, which is basically there's a scale of 0 to 1 from blue to red. And I just, you tie those to bones. So 0, then the bone's not going to move that part of the body at all. If it's 1, that's like the only thing that's going to be moving that part of the body. I struggled with this for a little bit, but I figured it out eventually. Just a lot of like, just like the rest of 3D stuff, it's just a lot of like, you push it until it works for you. Just gotta make sure the head doesn't look too weird. I think here's where I was realizing, yeah, I'm not getting the controller to work at all. So I just make it work like a normal armature for me. Alright, and now I'm just applying the armature to the rest of these little things that I have, like the patches and the hair and all that. I think at some point, yeah, I like accidentally had like 2 left hands for him. I don't know how I did that exactly, but it happened. um, I fixed it eventually, and it wasn't really too hard to fix. It was just something weird. I'm trying to figure out how to make these little fluffs move with the arm in a way that makes some sense. Trying to figure out fingers, legs. You'll see me just play around with bones for a while here. Try and get a screen cap of him when I had like his arms all tiny but his body normal size. It's so silly looking. I'm getting some expressions done. I'm just getting him happy, angry, getting some mouth shapes. So mouth shapes, for me, I just do A, E, I, O, U, and just that's what I use for like everything. It's a little interesting working with this snaggletooth because it makes his face asymmetrical in a way that's really interesting to work with. All right, but yeah, here is just an idle animation. You're gonna see the other animation I made soon. I'll also probably have posted it somewhere. Also, I've done like a little cover them up slut meme, just to be silly. But yeah, let me know if you like this.
1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go. Got a great main chick and a real bad hoe. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go.